All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Today we are going deep on keto gummies.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, these things are everywhere, right? All over the internet, promising like effortless weight loss.
Right.
We're going to see if there's actually anything to those claims or if it's all just hype. You know,
Yeah, for
we've got
sure.
some great articles here, one from the Cleveland Clinic and one from Forbes Health.
Excellent sources.
And honestly, I'm already kind of surprised by some of this stuff.
Really? Like what?
Well, for one thing, apparently these things aren't regulated by the FDA at all.
Oh,
And
wow.
there's like a whole bunch of potential side effects. Things like, well, diarrhea.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not fun. And get this, there's even a connection to epilepsy treatment.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So, okay, let's back up a sec.
Okay.
We all know the keto diet is like all about ketosis, right?
Right.
It's when your body starts burning fat for energy instead of carbs.
Exactly.
And to get to that state, you have to follow this super strict, low carb, high fat diet, right?
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
So that's where these gummies come in.
Okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
They make it seem like you can just pop a gummy and skip the whole hard part of the diet.
Yeah, the easy way out.
Right. And some of them even have these things called exogenous ketones. So basically ketones from an outside source, not made by your body.
Interesting.
And they claim that these can like help you get into or stay in ketosis.
But are they really a magic bullet?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not that simple. They might give you a little boost if you're already in ketosis, from actually following the diet.
Right.
But just taking a gummy won't magically like change your whole metabolism.
For sure.
And the research on if they actually help with weight loss in the long run is pretty iffy.
Okay, so what exactly is in these gummies then?
Well, most of them have these MCTs, medium chain triglycerides.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
They're a type of saturated fat, which can give you energy,
Okay.
but like too much of anything isn't good.
Right. Of course, moderation is key.
And then, of course, there's the exogenous ketones themselves.
Right.
They're usually listed as BHB salts. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, it sounds kind of complicated, right?
It does.
It's basically ketone molecules attached to minerals like sodium or potassium.
Interesting. And then there's going to be sweeteners in there too, so they actually taste good.
Right.
Some use natural stuff like stevia,
Yeah.
but others use things like sorbitol, which can mess with your digestion.
Yeah, that's the stuff that can cause those unpleasant side effects.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where that whole no FDA regulation thing gets kind of scary.
Right. You never really know what you're getting.
Yeah, like it's a total guessing game with the ingredients.
For sure.
So, okay, maybe they're not like the miracle solution they're made out to be.
All right.
But what about all those supposed benefits they talk about?
Like what?
Well, they say they help with weight loss, improving athletic performance, and even like curbing your appetite.
Okay, yeah. I've definitely seen those claims.
The thing is, there's not a lot of actual evidence to back those claims up.
Really?
Yeah, some people might feel some temporary effects, but real weight loss comes down to like actually changing your lifestyle. Yeah,
Absolutely. It's about making sustainable changes, not just relying on a quick fix.
exactly. Okay, so I'm getting the vibe that maybe these gummies aren't all they're cracked up to be.
Yeah, starting to see a pattern here.
But what about the risks?
Uh.
Both articles mention some pretty nasty side effects,
Oh, yeah.
like nausea, vomiting,
Yeah.
and yeah, even diarrhea, especially with the gummies that have that sorbitol in them.
Oh, yeah. No thanks.
Not exactly the shortcut I was hoping for.
Definitely not.
And it's not just like stomach problems either.
What else?
Apparently, keto gummies can lower your blood sugar,
Oh, wow.
which can be really risky for people with diabetes or other blood sugar issues.
Right, that's a serious concern.
So not only are the benefits kind of questionable, but there are real downsides too.
Yeah, it's not looking good for these gummies.
This is making me seriously rethink my whole gummy snacking habit.
Right.
But wait, there's more. There was something in the articles about these gummies messing with how your liver produces ketones.
Oh, yeah, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so we're back. And in part one, we kind of took those keto gummies apart, right?
Yeah, we definitely saw that they're not quite the miracle they're made out to be.
But before we move on to other stuff, I think we should maybe talk a little bit more about ketosis itself.
Makes sense.
What's actually going on in our bodies when we're in that state.
Yeah, good point. It's easy to get lost in all the hype, but the science behind ketosis is really interesting.
Yeah.
So ketosis, right? It's basically a metabolic shift.
Okay.
Your body starts using ketones, which come from fat, as its main energy source.
Instead of glucose from carbs.
Exactly. So when you really cut down on carbs, like on the ketogenic diet, your body runs out of that readily available glucose.
Okay.
And that tells your liver to start breaking down fatty acids into those ketone bodies.
And then those ketones are what your brain and muscles and everything else uses for energy.
Right, like switching from gas to electric power.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
And so ketosis is like trendy now for weight loss,
Yeah.
but it's actually been used for other things for a long time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like for decades, it's been used as a treatment for epilepsy.
Really? Epilepsy? I had no idea.
Mhm.
How does that work?
It's pretty complicated, but basically the ketogenic diet, which puts you in ketosis, can help reduce how often people have seizures and how bad they are, especially for kids who don't respond well to regular medications.
Wow, so there are actual medical reasons for ketosis. That's fascinating. But getting back to weight loss, if ketosis means your body's burning fat for energy, does that automatically mean you'll lose weight?
It's not that simple. I mean, yeah, burning fat for energy definitely can help with weight loss,
Okay.
but it really comes down to calories in versus calories out. You know, that whole calorie deficit thing.
So even if you're in ketosis, you could still be eating too many calories and not lose weight.
Exactly. It's not a free pass to just eat all the bacon and cheese you want, no matter what those keto gummy ads say.
I think I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah,
There's a lot more to weight loss than just getting into ketosis.
absolutely. It really takes a much more holistic approach, you know, changing your diet, getting enough exercise, addressing any underlying health issues.
So it's not just what you eat, it's your whole lifestyle.
Exactly. It's about finding things you can stick with long term, not just these quick fixes that promise you crazy results.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So let's say someone is thinking about trying the keto diet, or maybe even those gummies.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
First thing, talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can tell you if the keto diet is even right for you and how to do it safely,
Okay.
because it is a very restrictive diet, so it's not for everyone, and especially not for people with certain medical conditions.
Gotcha. What about those gummies? Are they ever a good idea?
I'd be really careful with them. Like we talked about, there's not much research to show they actually work, and there are those risks involved.
Right.
It's better to focus on building a healthy, balanced keto diet using real food. And if you're still curious about the gummies, definitely talk to your doctor first, just to be safe and to understand how they might affect your health goals.
Solid advice. All right, so we busted some myths about keto gummies, and we learned that losing weight and being healthy is about way more than just being in ketosis. But what are some other ways people can approach their health and wellness? We'll get into that when we come back. And we are back. So for these last two parts, we've really dug into keto gummies.
Yeah, pretty thoroughly, I'd say.
And it's safe to say that they're probably not going to magically melt away the pounds like some people hope, right?
Yeah, definitely more hype than miracle cure, that's for sure.
And even though the keto diet itself can work for some people, it's definitely not for everyone.
Right, and those gummies are not a shortcut to success, that's for sure.
No shortcuts. So for this last part, let's maybe talk about some other ways people can approach their health.
I like it. Moving on from the gummies.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's about finding what works for you, not just chasing the latest fad diet, you know?
Couldn't agree more. It's all about sustainable lifestyle changes.
Right. So where do we even start?
Well, that's the tough part, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like a million different diets and workout programs and wellness trends out there.
Like overwhelming, for sure.
Totally overwhelming. It's like, how do you even know where to begin?
Well, I think the key is to remember that health is personal, you know? It's not about fitting into someone else's mold. It's about what makes you feel good, both physically and mentally.
Yeah, that makes sense. So maybe instead of focusing on all these restrictions and quick fixes, it's more about finding those gradual changes that you can actually stick with.
Exactly. And I always say, start with the basics. You know, eating a balanced diet, getting some exercise, making sure you're sleeping enough, managing your stress.
Oh yeah, and taking care of your mental health too, right?
Absolutely. That's huge. Mental and emotional well-being is just as important as physical health.
Okay, I like that. But those all seem kind of broad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can you give us some, like, more concrete examples?
Sure. So, for example, the Mediterranean diet. You've probably heard of that one.
I have. It's supposed to be really healthy.
Yeah, it's always at the top of those healthiest diets lists. It focuses on whole grains, fruits and veggies, legumes, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats like olive oil.
That sounds pretty tasty. A lot better than some crazy restrictive diet.
It's all about enjoying food, right?
Exactly. And what about exercise? Does it have to be, like, intense workouts all the time?
Not at all. The best exercise is the kind you actually enjoy. Even just going for a brisk walk or a swim or putting on some music and dancing around your living room, that can have a huge impact on your health.
It's about moving your body in ways that feel good.
Exactly. And don't forget about stress management and cultivating a positive mindset. Things like yoga, meditation, or even just getting out in nature can really help with that.
That's so true. It's easy to forget about those things when you're so focused on, like, calories and workouts.
Yeah, but they're essential for overall well-being. You got to take care of your mind and your emotions just as much as your body.
So it's really about finding that balance, right?
Exactly. Nourishing your body with good food,
Mm.
moving your body in ways you enjoy, and taking care of your mental health.
And remembering that it's a journey.
Yeah, there will be ups and downs for sure.
Setbacks, victories.
Exactly. Be patient with yourself, celebrate the wins, and don't be afraid to ask for help from a professional when you need it.
Great advice. Well, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into keto gummies and the whole world of health and wellness.
I hope everyone learned something today.
Me too. And remember, there's no one right way to be healthy. It's all about finding what works for you.
What makes you feel your best?
Right, exactly. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to be the best, healthiest versions of yourselves.